Our next video is going to look at equilibrium, and this is kind of pulling from Newton's first law and saying, based on that, how do we keep objects from moving or changing how they're moving more specifically? So equilibrium, an object is in equilibrium when the net force is equal to 0. So in other words, if you have a bunch of forces acting on an object, or technically no forces acting on an object, if you add them all up and you get a value of 0, meaning no magnitude, no direction, then you have an object in equilibrium. And more specifically, actually, I don't want to write equilibrium. I want to write the more specific term here of mechanical equilibrium. So it's specifically saying mechanically it is an equilibrium because there's no net force acting on it. And you can think about it as the forces cancel each other out, making it as if no forces were acting on it. This is easy to kind of imagine intuitively. If you and a friend are both pushing on a door trying to open / keep it closed, right? If you've ever done that with your siblings, you're fighting with them, with your friends, you're trying to keep them out. If the door is not moving, that doesn't mean you're not pushing on the door or your friend's not pushing on the door. It just means that the two of you are pushing equally on the door. And so those pushes are canceling it out, the door doesn't move. An object in mechanical equilibrium or mechanic equilibrium will not change its motion. We just talked about this, and this is because of Newton's first law. If the net force is 0, then it will stay at rest or it will stay in motion with a constant motion. So those two conditions give us specific names. Static equilibrium is when an object is not moving and it has no net force. So if an object is at rest and it's staying at rest because all the forces acting on it are equal to 0, or all the forces acting on it sum up to 0, it's in static equilibrium. You've also got what we call dynamic equilibrium, and this is when an object is moving at a constant velocity with no net force. So if an object is moving and the net force is 0, it's not going to change how it's moving. It's not going to speed up, it's not going to slow down, it's not going to change direction. It'll keep moving how it's moving, and that situation we call dynamic equilibrium.